Mayang diulik dengan tuannya putri.
Hello, Eries. Welcome to another episode of Erie Asia. If this is your first time, my name is Shah.
And I'm Cody. This week on Erie Asia, we will be telling you two stories about haunted offices.
The theme for this week was inspired by my own eerie experience at my office that happened last year. If you would like to hear that story, you can sign up as our patron for only $1 a month.
Yeah, guys, you will also unlock 3 other stories by being our patron. We upload 2 to 4 stories to our Patreon page every month.
So if you're ready, let's get started with our haunted office stories on
You are listening to Eerie Asia with your narrator, Shaw. The stories you are about to hear are for entertainment only. There is no evidence to support their truth.
Hello to all Eerie Asia listeners. My name is Lynn. I'm about to share with you my experience when I was working the night shift at my previous workplace. About 2 years ago, I was working in one of the biggest call centers in Kuala Lumpur. At that point, I have been working with this company for over 4 years. And since I started, I have been working the night shift. However, on my last day of work, I experienced something scary. My shift began like usual. There were 12 people working that night. A decent number of people, but since our office was massive, it felt so quiet and empty. Everyone sat at their own preferred part of the office, which made it even worse. Among the 12 people, 2 of my 3 close friends, Fika and Elvis, were also working. We were sitting together near the main entrance of the office. The toilet is just outside the main entrance, so it was the most convenient spot for us. That night, Fika showed up at work with a life-size Patron prop as her contribution for the Halloween event we will have the following night. Fika is one of those artsy people, so the prop that she brought is not just life-sized, it looks rather realistic too. If it was weighted, there would be no way I would believe that it was a prop. Fika told us that she made the prop with her best friend and they named the prop Hidayah. She also made it clear to everyone that her friend would want Hidayah back. The 3 of us decided that it was best to put Hidayah in the hallway, near the front door. That puts the prop clearly visible from where we were sitting. So our shift started at 9 o'clock at night. Everything seems normal, even though the sight of Hidayah laying in the middle of the floor was a bit disturbing. At about 1 o'clock, we went for our break. On our way out, Fika pointed out that Hidayah was moved from her original place. I brushed it off because, knowing Fika, she is not just interested in arts and crafts. She is also a huge fan of ghost stories and spooking people with her ghost stories. When we came back an hour later, we all immediately noticed that Hidayah was gone. She's not at her place.
Ugh, I told everyone not to move her. My friends want her back,
Fika complained.
I'm going to find who took her and put her back.
Fika left. She came back and told us that she went around the office looking for Hidayah, but nobody seems to know where she was.
I don't know, man. Maybe someone is using her to prank their friends. Whoever took her will put her back eventually. It's not worth stealing a bunch of newspaper wrapped in a plain piece of cloth anyway,
Said Fika as she gave up looking for Hidayah. Just around 3 o'clock, I noticed something outside the main door. It was white all the way and it was not moving at all. The bottom half of the main door was frosted glass. You can still see people standing outside, but really blurry. The frosted glass goes up about 5 feet high, and the top half was clear glass so you can actually see the face of the people outside. Unless they're shorter, that is. So, the human like white figure, despite being really blurry, I had a good idea of what it was. Fika, Elvis, I think the prankster is trying to prank us, I said to my friends.
What?
Look at the main door, I said. Both Fika and Elvis looked at the main door.
I'm getting goosebumps. Why do you make it so scary? Leave it outside. Bring it inside in the morning,
Said Elvis.
Heck, no. My friend is going to kill me if I lose her.
Fika said as she got up from her chair, heading outside. Halfway to the front door, she stopped, and I can see why. Hidayah, or so it seems, was not moving at first, but now she's hopping, slowly. The white cloth looked dirty with a light brown tinge. Hidayah was just a little shorter than 5 feet, so earlier when we first noticed her, we could only see her through the frosted glass. Now that she's hopping, we can see the top half of her head at each hop. She was still hopping, turning a little at each hop. Suddenly, she started hopping really fast, and she turned completely. Shocked, Fika stepped back and fell on her bum. She had eyes. We couldn't see much of her face, but we could see Hidayah had bloodshot eyes. One almost popped out of the socket. Our manager saw Fika falling and came rushing.
Fika, are you alright?
Shaken, Fika was unable to say anything. She pointed at the main door.
She's gone! She's gone!
What? Who's gone?
Asked our manager. Fika just shook her head and got up and went back to her seat. Before we could say anything,
I don't know. I don't know.
we didn't talk about it after that, and that was the last we had ever seen Hidayah. Both Fika and Elvis quit soon after I did. We're all working in different companies now. So what do you guys think? What happened to Hidayah? Was it really Hidayah that Lynn and her friends saw?
My humble opinion is that these supernatural beings saw the Halloween prop resembling a human and decided to kind of possess it to scare people. What do you guys think? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Moving on to our second story. Hi Eerie Asia team and listeners. The story I'm about to share with you happened to me when my company was moving from our old office to the current building. Our usual office hours are from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and by 5:30 p.m. the office would already be empty. This was also because the building management does not allow anyone to work after 7 p.m. unless they have special permission from the management after presenting them with a valid reason. So on our last day of moving out, my company obtained the permission for 4 of our staff to stay back until 11 p.m. to help move the remaining documents we have. There was Harry, Siva, Jessica, and myself. My name is Ali. To be honest, we have heard spooky stories about our office building for a while, but none of us have ever encountered anything like that. We only heard rumors from people working the office next door. That evening, Jessica finally told us something she heard from her friend that used to work at the office next door. No matter how manly the rest of us acted, we were all secretly bothered by it.
You guys, This is the latest we have ever been here, huh? It's almost 8:30 p.m. right now. I think we should quickly finish and bring everything out. I don't like being in here.
Jessica's voice broke the silence in our office. Why la? We are getting overtime pay anyways. Might as well take our time and do it slowly, Siva said with a grin. Yeah, Harry agreed.
You guys don't know, ah? My friend from the office next door told me our office is haunted.
Ugh, what nonsense, I said.
No, not nonsense. I googled the story and found out a news article about it.
About what?
Last time, the owner of the company that rented this space was in a lot of debt with some gang. After he failed to pay the debt, the people come on a Friday night and broke into this office to steal stuff and trash it. However, there were two girls working late that night. The girls were raped and murdered. Their bodies were only found the following Monday morning. The reporter described the scene as bloody and gruesome.
Seriously? Asked Terry.
Do I even look like I'm joking? I want to hurry up and get out of here,
Said Jessica. She did look a little scared. Her hands were moving faster, putting file after file inside a box in front of her. Jessica's eyes widened, and she stopped packing the files. She looked at me. The boys were looking around the office. Hurry up, guys. There's only a few left, I said, moving filled boxes onto a dolly to be taken out to our cars. As we were packing the last of the files, the crying stopped, but our relief turned into a bigger panic when... Jessica, stop it. It's not funny, said Siva, but Jessica continued laughing.
Nobody came to save us when those people did horrible things to us. They hurt us bad.
Jessica, Harry said, grabbing Jessica by the arm. Jessica let out a scream, and she suddenly lost her balance. Harry saved her from completely falling as he was still holding her by the arm.
What are you doing? Why are you holding my arm?
You don't remember? I asked. That was it. We just threw everything onto the dolly and rushed out of the office. We didn't even lock the door like we were supposed to. Before going home, we stopped at a 24 hours restaurant and told Jessica what had happened. She said she doesn't remember anything. She just blacked out for a moment.
All right, Iris. How was that? Would you continue to work in a place if you know somebody was murdered there? I'm not sure if I would quit right away, but I would definitely avoid working late. Anyway, Iris, how do you like the new Erie Asia logo? If you are not sure what it is, our new logo is a silhouette of a pocong, one of the most popular ghosts in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and Brunei. Both Cody and I spent a considerable amount of time working on it. Before we let you go, if you haven't subscribed to us yet, we would really appreciate if you do. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and turn on the notification so you won't miss our next videos.
Thank you so much for listening. See you Eries on our next video.